Hello, BookTube.
Hello.
This is sort of our week one check-in.
Yeah, it's kind of an update of where we are. We wanted to do this a couple of days ago.
That was the word we agreed upon.
What?
I forgot. Update.
Yeah. But I've had some lung problems, like some breathing issues.
That's stinky.
Yeah, Link's still in his cone.
And it's going to be in his cone for another month.
Yeah, we got some bad news yesterday that he's going to be in the cone until December 1st.
Well, at least until December 1st. It said his jaw is healing, but it's not where it needs to be to take the wire out. And he's got that piece of wire just jutting out from the bottom of his chin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's got to be in there for another month.
For those of you who don't know, he broke his jaw. And we're not exactly 100% sure how. It could have been this dog across the fence from him at his grandma's house, or it could have been the fence itself. He dug under the fence and could have gotten his jaw caught. And then when he pulled away, he broke his jaw, broke the piece of cartilage that goes in his chin.
And just in case you're wondering if we're just irresponsible dog parents, there's a chain link fence, then a privacy fence, and then a big piece of lattice in front of that to keep him from doing that.
And they moved the lattice.
And they moved the lattice, dug under the privacy fence and under the chain link fence.
Well, his best buddy is an 85-pound dog that dug under there at least part of the way and moved the lattice.
I'm pretty sure she's the one who moved the lattice, but he helped.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no reining them in. But anyway.
Yeah.
So that's the link update.
And here is Atlanta Brewing Company homestand. This is a Pilsner that I'm going to drink. I haven't had it before. I haven't had anything from Atlanta Brewing Company.
Forgot we need to pour that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put Link down. He's starting to sniffle.
Yeah.
Come on, Pug.
He's a Boston Terrier, so
Got that brachycephalic thing going.
yeah.
Anyway, we're going to go over what we've read so far this week in the first 4 days of November.
Pretty good. We've done well, especially you.
I may or may not have had a whole lot of fun so far. I've read 7 things so far. And these have been short stories and novellas. And I've enjoyed myself immensely. And had one disappointment. I'm so upset about it.
All right.
How many have you read so far?
I've read 5 stories.
Nice.
I don't read as fast as Becky. Especially now, my vision is blurred over the last few years quite a bit. And it started to really, especially over the last year, it started to really blur. And since I've had, the funk, the C word, not cancer, the other illness C word.
I was about to say the other C word's not better. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Okay. But
COVID. It's the C word we're talking about.
Yeah. Like with our friend Shawn D. Standfast, I've had some cognitive issues happen as well, and part of that is I'm reading a lot slower. And I hate that. I hate that I'm reading slower. I don't have the trouble concentrating. I just really have trouble. Have trouble reading fast. But yeah, we're gonna go over what we've read. I can start. Let's do the one we read together last.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. First book or the first story I read was Who Goes There? John B. Campbell. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it. I'm going to let Shawn Standfast on his channel talk about this on Saturday. He has a book to film coming up. What do you think?
That's pretty good.
It's a Blue Moon Belgian White, which I think is that
it's a wheat beer.
Is that brewed in Georgia? I think it is.
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. Yeah, that's right.
Brewed with orange peel. It's good.
Okay. And I really loved it. This was, I would say, my second favorite that I read so far. It was great. Just it's visceral. It's scary. The movie The Thing was based on it from 1982. The Thing from Another World was based on it from 1951, I believe. And so this story's had staying power. It was just released with an extra 45 pages or something, 35, 45 pages, because they found a manuscript with the entire thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Neat.
I guess the editor said you can't have it that long, so he had to cut a bunch of it out. But what did you read first or next?
Well, first up, I'm actually going to talk about 3 books here. I read. Hold on. I read 3 books in a series, and this is entirely Brandy's fault from the Bookclectic.
Yeah, Brandy pulled the worst looking cover she could. And it made Becky want to read it.
It's not a terrible looking cover. It's just kind of odd. But the books they're the I Married series. It's I Married a Lizard Man is the first one. I Married a Naga is the second one, and I Married a Birdman is the third one. They're all alien stories. For those of you who don't know, a Naga is a humanoid snake-like figure. And yeah, look it up. I Married a Naga by Regine Abel. The cover it's kind of cringy, but it doesn't bother me all that much. I don't dislike snakes, so that helps. But
no, we love snakes, actually.
Yeah, the books are about human females who as sort of a last resort, join a matchmaking agency that is an interstellar matchmaking agency who. The people who run this matchmaking agency they're these bird-like aliens who have an empathic ability, and they use that empathic ability to put 2 people together who they think will make a great match. Why not? And
we still got like 1 or 2 flies flying around this stupid room, and they won't die. So go ahead.
I'm gonna have to start piece shooting them. But anyway, the premises are is really good. They're arranged marriages that happen between these 2, the male lead and the female lead. And what I love about these books, I loved them. The author, instead of really in-depth world building, she went into really in-depth culture building and society building, and they're wonderful. Instead of the tried and true female lead balking against the very idea of an arranged marriage, both of the characters go into these arranged marriages with very high hopes and with very open minds, and it is a breath of fresh air. Let me tell you, these books are great. If you like a good blue alien romance, you will love these books. You will absolutely love these books. I adored them. I really did. They were a very, very wonderful surprise.
Good.
Despite the covers. The covers are shocking. Don't look at the covers. Just pass them up if you can't handle them.
You know, I found that to be true in a lot of books. I mean, look at the Harlequin covers. Many of them are terrible. Like
they're kind of cringy.
Some of those
with
intrigues up there.
With the Harlequin books, you have to ignore the titles.
Titles and covers, really.
Those are awful.
Sometimes they have really cool covers. Like they really do. But but I've learned you can forget the covers on those things. They mean nothing.
Seriously, they're kind of cute. They really are. But the storylines themselves, they are very, very deftly done. They're wonderful. They really are. I enjoyed them so much. I can't wait for the next one.
Good.
Can't wait to see what she brings out.
Oh, and I wanted to tell you that the story I just told you about, which is Who Goes There, I got out of this volume right here, Science Fiction Hall of Fame, Volume 2A. This thing's great. It's got a bunch of novellas in it, and every one of them are classics. It was put together by Ben Bova, and it's awesome. I recommend all 3 of these. I've got two of them right here with me. That's 2A, and this is volume 1. And then there's a volume 2B, which has a whole lot of really good stuff in it too. The second one I read was A Martian Odyssey by Stanley G. Weinbaum.
I'm gonna read that this weekend, probably.
Anybody who reads a lot of science fiction short stories or has read any science fiction short story, he's getting that cone caught on everything.
Door frames, furniture.
Yeah, boxes. There's a box on the floor over there that he keeps hitting. But it is maybe the best science fiction short story I've read. And I mean, it had me laughing out loud at times. It had me... the alien is so well thought out. And the ideas are so well thought out in this story. And it's not long. It's like, I think it's less than 30 pages, or maybe a little over 30 pages. But it goes really fast. So far, it's my favorite story I've read, at least this week. You know what I mean? And possibly my favorite science fiction short story yet. I love it. I don't remember when it came out, but it's ahead of its time.
Nice.
Just a blast. It talks, there's a recycling thing going on in the story.
I love it when stories go into depth about little things like that. I really, really enjoy that.
Yeah, me too. But what I love about science fiction short stories,
come here.
They're about. He's wanting up there. They're about one idea most of the time. Mm-hmm. Stanley Weinbaum threw in a few different small ideas and did it well. And I think that's commendable. That's hard to do in 30 pages. But he did it, and he did it well. I think it's the perfect science fiction short story. And that's why it's in everything. I read it digitally, not realizing that it was in this. Actually, I think it was in this. It was in this one. The volume 1. I definitely recommend this. At least if you're going to get any of them, get volume 1. It's got some of the best science fiction short stories ever.
So the next book I read, it was a book. It was about 230 pages, something like that.
She read a bunch of those.
Yeah. It was Alien in Charge. And it's by Lily Zander, and it's the one that I was talking about that had a kitten on the cover. This one I chose entirely because of the cover. It wasn't bad. It didn't live up to my expectations because I was expecting greatness from the kitten. Alien Charge was a
he does not want to be put down.
Well, darn it, he makes me itch. It was a competently written alien novel. It really was, but it had a sort of a theme in there that you see in a lot of romance novels. It's sort of that second chance at love kind of thing, where two characters, they had a fling years ago, and now all of a sudden they've come back together in some capacity, and their love blossoms again. And I've never been a fan of that because you missed the actual falling in love part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And they have to fall in love a second time. I don't know. It just sort of seemed like a shortcut to me, I guess. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad at all. It's about a.
But you wouldn't start there.
What do you mean?
From somebody
no.
who is just getting into alien romance,
no.
You wouldn't start there.
Absolutely not. For one, the alien character, the male lead, you didn't even get a description of what he looked like. You just sort of knew he was blue at some point about halfway through the story. and he's from a different not different country, different planet, but you don't get any insight into the world, into the culture, into the society as a whole. I am totally spoiled by Regina Abel and the I Married a Lizard Man, Naga, and Birdman series. I want to hear about the culture. about the society. You really get that with like Ruby Dixon, and with most alien.
Ruby Dixon got a bunch of Dr. Manhattans, right, in her story.
No, she's got. They're closer to Beast from the X-Men.
Oh.
There is one series of books that has a good Dr. Manhattan character. I'll have to tell you which one it is. Can't remember. But that's a great series. To mention it. It was okay. It wasn't bad at all. It was fun to read, but it had a little bit of frustration with it. It's about a woman who's basically she's set up by her government to be just for failure, to be an ambassador to this different society. It's very, very in depth, but there's not enough detail in the book to do it justice. I think it suffered from being too short, honestly, because it was a really, really what's not detailed, what's the intricate idea, but not enough information. If that makes sense. So it's worth reading. Just don't start there if you're going to start with blue.
Or just alien romance. You know, they're not
blue
all
alien. This is a blue alien romance.
Okay, but they're not all blue.
That's true.
Ruby Dixon's are...
The vast majority of them are. I get excited when I come across an alien romance where they're green or something. Anyway, yeah, that's...
Next one I read was my least favorite story I've read so far this week. It's... Yeah, I know. It's Cat and Mouse by Ralph Williams. I'm having trouble seeing my phone. His link is right in the way, and he can't stand to not be petted. But Cat and Mouse by Ralph Williams. Now this story is about a guy who finds on his property, I believe it was on his property, let's see, what is it? A portal to another world. Now, he keeps looking through the portal and seeing a creature staring back at him. The creature, I believe, was called the Harn in the story. And part of the story is from the creature's point of view. What I had a problem with in this story, which it was well written, but the problem I have with the story is that it's mean-spirited. This guy is, he sees this creature staring back at him. He goes to the other side. He sees like rabbit-like creatures. What does he do? He kills them. Brings them back. Now, the book doesn't go far enough to villainize this guy. He's horrible. It was in 1959. So he goes over to the other side, kills every damn thing he sees. And I mean, they didn't exactly make him a heroic character either.
Okay.
Or even a protagonist. But they didn't go out of their way to villainize him either, and I think they should have. I think this, but it was 1959, you know. But he was just killing indiscriminately.
You find a portal to another world, and the first thing you do is start killing things.
Yes.
Wow.
To protect what's his.
What?
And not just. It was well written enough, I guess, but not well written enough to save it. Just not a very good story. I didn't care for it at all. I won't be reading it again. I might look up some more Ralph Williams stories if there are some out there, and I'm sure there are. But I got this off of a list of the best short stories, best science fiction short stories of all time, and best alien science fiction short stories of all time, and I just didn't like it. I don't recommend it. I got it from. What was it? I got it from. What is the website that has all of the public domain stuff? Project Gutenberg.
Oh.
I got it from Project.
Yeah,
Gutenberg.
I was sitting here thinking Galileo. No, that's the wrong old guy.
Yeah, and I think somebody made a mistake putting this on the best list. It just wasn't very good.
It's weird.
Yeah. So go ahead with your next one.
Next book I read was called His Human Ward by Michelle Mills, and this is the one that I was just waxing poetic about in the last video, or in the TBR video that we did, because I've been waiting for this book for months, for a couple of months. It came out, I think, over a month ago, and I specifically waited to read it for New World's November, and I'm so upset. I'm actually disappointed in the book. It was still a 3.5-star read for me, but you know how when you build yourself up to something, you just know it's going to be awesome, and it turns out to be. So his human ward takes place. It's in the distant future. Earth is a dim memory. Humanity lives on other planets. There's New Earth, which is kind of an arid country, planet. Why am I having trouble with the word planet? And there are a couple of other planets, and space travel has happened. First contact has happened. We're in contact with a lot of other species, and in these series, his human series, the alien race is the Hirokan, and they remind me a lot of like ancient Japanese culture. They're very deeply rooted in family and tradition and honor, that kind of thing. And the aliens look like devils. They're extremely tall. They're dark red. They've got black horns, claws, that kind of thing. But why do I keep saying that kind of thing? Now I'm really aware of it. But they're very
and everything like that.
And everything like that, yeah. Yeah, that kind of thing. And they're intelligent. They're what's the word that I'm looking for?
I have no idea.
They're respectable. They're extremely respectable.
Okay.
And in this book, the male Hirokan he's nobility in this society, and he comes into not even possession is the only word I can come across. He obtains a human ward from one of his distant cousins who's died. And it turns out, and the book turns into a very Jane Eyre-esque storyline. She's an adult in her society. She's 20 years old, but in his society, you don't actually hit adulthood until you're 21. So she's got to live with him until she hits adulthood in their society before she can inherit her inheritance.
Okay.
Before she can come into her inheritance. And of course, they fall in love with each other. But things in the writing and the storytelling aspect, it's kind of light, isn't it? The storytelling aspect sort of falls off from there. Like the only sexual encounter that you get between these characters is told in a drunken, not rewind, flashback. Which you're reading a romance novel. That's not the way these things are supposed to go. And everything after that is just angst and sadness, and it left me cold. Yeah. And I love this series. I'm so upset.
They didn't tell you what color his wiener was in this one?
I'm pretty sure it was red.
Oh, okay.
The rest of him's red.
Okay.
No, there was no mention of that at all. But yeah, Michelle Mills, she's a great author, and I love this series. Anyway,
no need to keep talking about one you don't like.
I'm so upset.
you got one more, and then we got
last one I read was
Warrior.
Warrior. Can't say that word. Bound. By Alaska Jones. This was a good book. Really good book. Again, the author went really far. It's a blue alien romance. It really is a blue aliens. The author went really into depth on the ouch. God, that hurt. On the culture and the society of these aliens. They're a very primitive race. They're not barbarians. They're not to the degree that the ice planet barbarians are. They're not quite that primitive. They're not just north of cavemen, but they do have some access to some technology. But they haven't quite gotten to the space flight level of things yet. And the human that crash lands on their planet has. It's a very good book. If you're looking for one to start your alien romance odyssey, Warrior Bound by Alaska Jones is a really good place to start, because it's a very accessible series, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. All of my books are on Kindle Unlimited, except for Rescue Party.
Yeah, so less than $10 for all that. Yep, we're going to talk about Rescue Party, which was the only one that we both read.
By Arthur C. Clarke.
By Arthur C. Clarke from 1946.
I just like...
This is definitely, I know it tastes like nothing but water.
It does not.
Yeah, it does after I've been drinking this Pilsner that actually has hops. Okay, Rescue Party by Arthur C. Clarke. It's not a very long story at all.
It was like 15, 16 pages.
17. Yeah.
17 pages?
Yeah.
Hot down.
And
you got it down, buddy.
It's so much fun to read. And not in the same way as A Martian Odyssey was fun to read. But it was very close to being at the same level, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. It has a lot of hope at the end, but it has a little bit of trepidation at the end too.
It was a little ominous.
Yeah, just a little bit. It has a lot of hope in that, because of the way that the humans had progressed more than what they thought. He
keeps smacking the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick him up. He wants to be picked up. But you tell about the story. You're better at that than me.
Okay, so here there might be spoilers. Just
not big spoilers.
What you just gave a little bit of a spoiler a second ago.
No, I didn't.
But the story itself is about a group of space travelers who are traveling to a planet to see if they can't save the inhabitants, because their star in their solar system is about to go nova, and they have 7 hours from the time they learn about this. Stop it! From the time they learn about this planet or about this star about to explode, they have 7 hours before it goes. So they have. They have 7 hours in which to get to this planet.
Just pet his little legs.
I'm gesticulating. I'm trying to talk with my hands, and it's not working. But 7 hours in which to get to this planet, see if they can't find any survivors. They are not picky. They're going to find anybody alive that they can and get them out of the solar system. And by the time they get to the planet, they have 4 hours left. And by the time they have actually gotten to the planet, the author has sort of pulled a little bit of a whammy on you. I was really surprised by who the travelers are, if that makes sense. And the whole story is these travelers
arm hurts,
searching this planet for survivors. And by the time they got there aren't any. You know what I mean? But they all right, get down. Darn it.
It's a 17-page story. Not much can be spoiled here.
Yeah, but it's incredibly rich.
Yeah, it is.
For a 17-page story. And some of the things Arthur C. Clarke thinks about in the story are amazing.
Well, he was a scientist, I do believe. And it shows.
Mm-hmm.
Clarke was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Just a brilliant writer.
Yeah, but there's...
I've never read anything by him I didn't at least like. 2001 I liked. I didn't love it.
Yeah, there's a couple of surprises in there. At one point, that one of the search teams gets stuck, and there's a lot of tension going on with that. So it's so good.
Yeah.
And it's 30 minutes of reading.
Yeah, we had a great time.
It's
Probably
called-
less than that
It's called Rescue
for a lot
Party.
of people.
So if you get a chance, look it up. Give it a read. It's totally worth reading.
Yeah. Where did we read it? Did we read it on Scribd? I think we did.
Yes, we read it on Scribd.
We read it on Scribd. You can get it in a lot of Arthur C. Clarke collections, which there are not a lot of on Scribd. But we got lucky that we found Rescue Party. We enjoyed it a lot. It was my second favorite of all the stories we read this week. And not because it was any less impressive than A Martian Odyssey. It was just as impressive, but Martian Odyssey was fun. Just had a blast reading
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna read that.
Yeah, so much fun. You're gonna love it.
Now I have to go see if I can't find some AI or robot romances.
Yeah, sex doll romances, right?
You know, it wouldn't be so hard to find if you hadn't like nixed cyborgs.
Yeah, but we did.
What about nanites? Are those robots?
Yeah.
Ha ha! One of the cyborg romances will work.
Clark has an E at the end, by the way. You misspelled it. All right, and now we have a little bit of a surprise. Right as we were coming in here, actually we sat down and about 5 minutes later, we discovered we had just broken 500 subs. We had done it once before, and then we lost, 6 or 7? Really quick.
I think YouTube is screwing with us.
Yeah, YouTube is screwing with us. I mean, we were at 503, and then we're down to 496, and now we're back up to 500. And so we're gonna go ahead and do this. We want to ask everybody what they want us to do as a celebration. We have ideas such as Q&A, 24-hour readathon, which we could do, and we could do that with people, or we could do it with just us. And we could do occasional updates during that 24 hours, or we could just do one video in different parts. We just have to spice it all together. So what would you like us to do? If you have a different idea, let us know.
Hit us with it.
Yeah, hit us with it. We'd like to have it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, now that we're at 500, we'll just keep going up a little bit, so we can stay at 500 at least and not go down again.
For half a second.
Which wouldn't surprise me if that happens, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we're there. We're gonna celebrate it.
We hit it twice.
Yeah. So what would you like us to do? Let us know. Yeah. Hopefully you made it this far. Yeah.
Yeah, did the alien talk mess you up? He's the one who brought up wieners. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you brought up blue aliens.
But that mean you need to go straight for the junk.
All right, that's it. Yeah, let us know down below what you would like us to do. We made this video pretty long, but it's the first video we've done this week. It's not going to be the last. We're doing another one tomorrow. That'll be out probably Saturday. Is that right?
Oh, it's Thursday. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know, and we're just now
probably
getting this.
probably Saturday.
We started this Monday, and we're one of the last ones to get our video out.
In our defense, we've been reading like constantly.
Well, constantly, and I've been sick, so yeah. Got another itch in the back of my throat, like I want to start having an issue again.
No.
Hopefully not.
You're not allowed.
But that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, let us know. Let us know what you would like us to do, and we will talk to you on Saturday, and we'll probably have another video on Sunday.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Your short stories are calling. Go read.